Hi everybody, this is Taz. Welcome back to Taz's Wig Closet. Today I thought it might be fun if we can examine a few mid-length wavy styles, some of my favorites. So today I want to take a look at Tony of Beverly NORAH. This little beauty I have on here, which is Margu KENDALL. And then guest appearances by Renau, Julian, and also Soft and Subtle by Gabor. So we're going to take a look at all four of those styles. We'll do some color comparisons, and then at the end I'll just kind of tell you what is my personal favorite among these four and why. So this is Kendall by Margu, and the color on Kendall is 26GR. So it still has the tags on it. This was a little gem that I snagged off of the Wig Closeout site for sister wigs, and what a deal this was. So I'm really happy to have this. But what really distracted me from this color was the color swatch. If anybody has seen that 26GR on the color swatch, it's described as being a butterscotch blonde with light gold blonde highlighting and a medium brown root. I wanted to stay away from butterscotch, but I don't know why, but I just went ahead and gave it a try. I absolutely love this color. I'm very, very surprised at how this actually is so much different than the color swatch. So this 26GR, a medium butterscotch blonde with very pale gold blonde highlighting and a medium blonde root. It is not too terribly gold in appearance. And we're going to do some color comparisons. I'm actually going to show you this color, and why don't we just go ahead and do that now. I'm going to show you this color next to the Renau shaded Praline, because this really reminds me of this color. So the shaded Praline is a very light golden brown with some medium and light gold highlighting, as well as some platinum highlighting. There's a lot of highlighting on this, but the base color is much darker. So I think that's why this 26GR, although similar, is really going to put off a much lighter and brighter appearance than the 12FS8 shaded Praline. It's much lighter, as you can tell, with all of this light gold blonde highlighting throughout. I really, really adore both of these colors. I think they're pretty similar. So taking a look at other colors that would be similar would be the Envy Sparkling Champagne. Even the Shaded Wheat in the Raquel Welch line would also be very similar to this, the 1488. So very similar colors here, very beautiful. And I don't look at them as being overly warm. I really think this is, you know, if I had to say whether it was warm or cool in tone, I'd probably say it was warm, but it's not gold in appearance. It's just a beautiful, beautiful color. So if you like the shaded Praline, you just wish it were a little bit lighter and brighter, this is the perfect solution. So Kendall, I absolutely love this little style. Specs on Kendall, about a 7-inch bang, and overall about 14 to 15 inches. It features this really pretty wave pattern, not quite curl, just a wave. So going back to the Julianne's even looser of a wave than Kendall. Kendall's a little bouncier. Those curls are lifted a little bit more into their curl pattern. So Kendall is going to be a little curlier than Julianne. So it's also, this 7-inch bang is straight. I really like parting my hair on the left, okay? However, when I do that with Kendall, I end up with it all in my face. These bangs are stick straight, and I've tried training them, but the solution that I found that works best for me is just to part a little bit more towards the middle and then train to swoop them away. It kind of gives a nice feathered look to the layers here in the front. It gives a little bit of curvature to the bang while still framing the face. So I love it this way. It's just fine with me. So Kendall features a temple to temple lace front, a full mono top, and then she's open cap. So let's take a look at the lace front on Kendall. And if you're interested, I did a review of Kendall last year at this time, but I've come a long way and now I have a better camera. I'm a little more experienced, so I thought I'd go ahead and re-review here. So the lace front is great. I really enjoy this lace front, temple to temple. Like I said, I do think that just like a lot of the shaded colors, the 12FS8, the Envy Sparkling Champagne, those lace fronts appear to be very thickly knotted, and that root color really makes them appear kind of knotty, pluggy looking. This one isn't that bad. What I love to see on a lace front is that they're very fine knots in the beginning of the lace front at the hairline, that they gradually get thicker and denser and perhaps even darker as they move back. A couple of examples that I absolutely love is the Raquel Welch Shaded Biscuit, the Gabor 1823 Toasted Pecan, and there's actually some very light pieces here at the front, and they those knots are very fine and light blonde at the beginning of the lace front, and then it gradually moves back. It's just very realistic looking. I wish they would all do their lace fronts like that. But this is a very beautiful lace front, guys. I really, really enjoy it. So Kendall, like I said, is going to be more of a rounded style, whereas Julianne is a little bit graduated, and we'll show you that when I put it on. I'm going to go ahead and do a turn for you for Miss Kendall here, and then we'll talk a little bit more and compare. So Kendall has a lot of permatease. Henry Margu loves their permatease. Even on their monotop wigs, you're going to find quite a bit. So you're going to find permatease all around that monotop, thick, puffy, pillowy permatease above the ear, thick, puffy permatease all around the perimeter in the back. That's going to give this that bouncy, rounded look. I just wish the bang were a little more contoured, and I think this wig would be really close to perfect. It's a beautiful, beautiful style. These fibers are light and silky in texture. I would say that the denier is fine to medium, and the density is pretty much a medium average density. So what really inspired me to do this comparison today is because I've been on a Tony of Beverly NORAH kick. I think I've got a little sub-collection going on. I have 3 NORAHs in 3 different colors that I want to show you today. And it's very easy to see the similarities between NORAH, Tony of Beverly NORAH, and the Henry Margu Kendall here. So I'm going to show you today in 3 different colors. We've got the Sunset Red. Oops. We've got NORAH in Sunset Red, NORAH in Ice Champagne, And then my most recent addition, these styrofoam heads really are kind of, you gotta watch, they will fall pretty quickly because they're not quite flat on the bottom. So the least bit of pull one way or the other will just send them. This is 12S28. So we've got 3 different colors here, and I really selected this 12S28 to give me a nice golden brown color to go with my blonde and my red. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and put on Norah. I'll show you all of the colors, and then we will talk about Norah a little bit. And then that at the end, I'm just going to do one final comparison of everything so that, and give you my opinions on what I like the best. Be right. So I'm back, and what I have on is the Tony of Beverly NORAH and the color 12S28. This color is really growing on me. I got it just because fall is coming up. I wanted something a tad darker, and I think I found the sweet spot on this. So this is the 12S28. It's described as being like a medium golden brown color. And then it has these beautiful ash blonde highlights in it. And it also says that there's some caramely colors at the nape. And there might be, it's not real dramatic, but I love this highlight pattern because you get a lot of it around the face. There's a lot of layering going on here, just brings all of that out. As you can see, it's just absolutely gorgeous. So I'll go ahead and do a spin for you, and then we'll talk about Norah. So Norah is so much fun to play with. As you see right away, contrary to Kendall, and let me grab Kendall, Norah's bangs are curved. They kind of curve up and away from the face, whereas Miss Kendall here lay flat. Straight bangs. So you can see where that on both sides, and again, I like to part mine right around the middle. It just brings out all of those face framing layers and all of this beautiful texture. The Tony of Beverly lace front on Norah is superb, absolutely superb. So they did it right. The knots are fine. They generally get a little thicker as you move back into the style. And it's a contoured temple to temple lace front. Now Norah has a left mono part as opposed to the full mono top of Kendall. And that's fine with me. All I really need is that left hand mono part. I think that really sets this off. So let's talk permatease. There's much more permatease in the Henry Margu Kendall than there is in Norah. With Norah, there's very limited permatease. There is some, you're going to find it around that mono part on the top, but it may be a little bit here on the sides. Not so thick around the ear, and none at the nape. That's what I really like. So with Kendall, you're going to find heavy, thick permatease around the ear and just all around the bottom of that cap, including the thick, pillowy permatease at the nape, and then all around that mono part, or mono top on Kendall. So I really love these fibers too. Both of these wigs weigh about the same, about 3.5 inches. They're exact. Their measurements are almost exact. So the 7-inch bang, the overall length of 14 or so inches, and featuring this wonderful curl, lace front, but the only difference would be the mono top and the left mono part on Norah, and the fact that there's a lot less permatease on Norah than there is on Kendall. So that's why I love Norah so much. There's just enough permatease in all the right places. Talking about the curl pattern too, big differences there. So on the Kendall, you saw where they're just more of a soft, coily, wavy pattern. And on Kendall, these curls are just a little more defined. Actually, almost a true corkscrew. Now, when it comes to you in the mail, and you first get it home and you look at it, these are very coiled. The curls are very coiled. They're going to need separated. They're going to need fluffed. You're going to need to pick them quite a bit to get them into this beautiful, separated, feathery look. But it will happen. I just shake vigorously upside down before I put Norah on. But when I get it home, I just swirl around, loosen up those fibers, leave it hanging upside down for about 24 hours or so, and then just pick it out from the bottom up and just continue to fluff and separate. The movement on Norah is, I think, superior to the Kendall. I think that's because these fibers are just a little bit finer and denier. And there's a little less permatease at the nape. So that's going to allow maybe a little more free movement. So the worst thing about Norah, if I have to find something that I don't like, that is this cap runs large. My petite average circumference is way too small for this cap. But I love this style so much that I don't care. I made some modifications to it. So I'll go ahead and put on another Norah so that I can show you the inside of the cap and what I've done here. I didn't do any scissors, thread, nothing permanent. Just basically just crisscross the adjusters to make it a little more snug. And when you crisscross the adjusters, and I'll show you here in just a minute, but when you crisscross them like this, you're going to get these huge gathers in the cap in the back. But I think it's okay for this style just because of all this curl. It really does camouflage any lumps and bumps in the cap. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back and I'm wearing another Norah in Ice Champagne. And I absolutely love this blonde. It's fairly neutral. So what you have here is a very light golden brown base color with some lighter gold blonde highlights, and then actually some platinum highlighting, and that platinum highlighting really neutralizes any of the gold that might be real apparent there. So it's just a nice neutral blonde color. So I have here that 12 S28. So we're going to take a look here and see if we can see, I guess you can see some caramely notes to that nape as the description suggested. It's a very dynamic color. Very beautiful. I love that highlighting on this color. So if you're used to a blonde and you just want to go a little bit darker, I think this is the ideal color. All right, so let's look at the cap for Norah. Look at that lace front, guys. It literally runs past temple to temple. That lace goes halfway down to the ear tab. It's very contoured, an absolutely beautiful lace front. And then seamlessly back into that left monopart. Lots of stretch, literally tons of room here. And here's where I have made some modifications. It's not ideal, and there's probably a permanent solution to this. However, I don't like to take out scissors and thread unless I absolutely have to, and at this moment I don't think I have to. So you'll see here where I crisscrossed those Velcro adjusters in the back. See these large gathers that it's created here? This one's completely folded in. So you can see, look how huge that cap is. It's just so big. Really should be considered a large cap. So if you have a large circumference, I think this would be beautiful. I think it would be very, very comfortable. 23 inches, no problem. However, if you have less than a 21.5 circumference, you're really going to struggle with this. And it's a beautiful, beautiful style. And if you're willing to take the chance, I think you can make it work. It's just that if that scares you a bit, then I would stay away from the Norah. But it's absolutely beautiful. Velcro adjustment, beautiful ear tabs, very comfortable all the way around. Beautiful cap by Tony Beverly. The color is gorgeous. So here's some of those curls up close. And I always leave it hang upside down when I first get it, and even sometimes after that, because when you wear it all day, just gravity and compression kind of run its course, and you want to fluff and revive it. So I turn it upside down and I just gently work it out, fluff it up. So that way, the next time I go to wear this style, it's going to behave beautifully for me. So you can see also that those bangs do feather back a little bit in addition to be slightly curly and coiled. Love these bangs. Okay, so I'll show you one more color in Norah. Be right back. Okay, so here it is. This is Sunset Red in the Tony Beverly Norah style. I have reviewed this one before and I haven't worn it out yet. There's been so many other styles. I was into Pixies a lot this year. But what I am looking forward to is wearing this out this fall. Isn't it the perfect fall color with all of this going on? So the Sunset Red is like a medium auburn base color with some Irish red and some very light coppery highlights. It just absolutely glows in a very good way. So it would probably be, I mean, I have a neutral skin tone and it works very well for me. There's a lot of different reds out there, but this would be considered more of a yellow-based, warm red color. Just gorgeous. So I did pick and separate these curls a bit. This particular one came and it was really tightly coiled. And I really had to work with it to get that into the curl pattern that I liked. So that's why in my other video you see me just really going like this a lot. That's just to kind of loosen it up to see what Norah could actually do. So Norah is an absolutely gorgeous style. I love the curl pattern on Norah. I love the lace front. It's absolutely gorgeous. The color selection is amazing on this style. My biggest complaint is the cap, but that may actually make some of you very happy. So I just love it so much. I wouldn't really care. I'm gonna make it work. All right, so let's go ahead then and do another comparison. I think I'm going to bring out my soft and subtle. Let's do that. Gabor soft and subtle, and I have one over here in the toasted pecan. Now soft and subtle, more probably comparable to Julianne in its wavy pattern, just the loosest wavy curly pattern that I have shown you among all four of the styles that I'm showing you today. But it has a beautiful lace front. It Gives you that mid-length wavy style. And then it has a left mono part, and then it's open cap. There is a lot of permatease on Gabor Soft and Subtle. The other thing about the Gabor Soft and Subtle is, and I've got a review coming out on the Soft and Subtle shortly too. You could order 4 of these and they would all come looking different. I especially get frustrated with sometimes the bangs, the sides are curly and they move back into the style like they should, like this one. Actually very, very pretty, very pretty. Others, when they come, those sides just fall like wet pieces of spaghetti on the side. Just unwearable in that particular style. You have to do something to it. You have to modify it in order to make it look good, which I have done. Actually, I don't have my other Soft and Subtle out that I've done modifications to, but that will be in my upcoming video on the Soft and Subtle style. So, very pretty. So this is the Toasted Pecan, a very, very ashy, some of the ashiest blonde on the market that isn't gray or platinum. So it's like a medium pure ash brown with some very, very, very light pale ash blonde highlighting, as you can see here. I'll go ahead and slip this one on so that you can see. Boy, isn't that a stark difference between the red and this ashy brown color? That's a huge difference on the color spectrum, isn't it? All right, be right back. So I'm back. I have on the Soft and Subtle in the GL 1823 Toasted Pecan. Absolutely love this color. This is one color that absolutely looks better on a person. I mean, even when you see it on a mannequin head in person, you just can't imagine the beauty of it. So if you are an ashy blonde tone lover, this will absolutely be one of your favorite colors. And like I said, I love how they do this lace front. The lace front is beautiful. And it has this banding of that very light pale ash blonde in there. The bangs kind of curl away, even though they're longer. So it really is about the same length all the way around, but those bangs might be just a tad longer than the rest, which kind of gives it a mild graduated effect. Same thing with Julianne. Will kind of give you that same graduated effect here as well. So I'll just spin for you here. Lots and lots of permatease on Soft and Subtle. And I think the downside on Soft and Subtle is that you just never know what you're going to get. The style is so crazily inconsistent. And I have spoken to a lot of wig-wearing friends, and many, many of them agree. So I'll go ahead and lastly, we'll put on Julianne, do one final comparison of these styles. All right, guys, so I have on Julianne here by John Renau, one of my absolutely favorite mid-length wavy styles, and this is in the 12 FS8 shaded Praline. 100% hand-tied cap, lace front, mono top. It's got it all. It is extremely comfortable, and I love wearing Julianne, especially in the winter time. It's so classy. It's got just the right amount of curl wave to it. I think my biggest complaint on the Julianne is, again, that wave pattern. It's meant to be chaotic, and that's what I love so much about it. But when you get a real stubborn one curl goes this way, the other one goes the other way, and it's very hard to tame it. It's hard to train it. But I love all of this chaotic nature, and I have the right attitude towards the style. If it's not perfect, it's okay. Nobody's perfect. Even wigs, they're not perfect. So we just make it work. But how beautiful is this? Just a gorgeous, gorgeous wig. So you can see some of the graduation here, just very, very slightly longer in the front. Whereas Kendall would be, actually Kendall's layers are here at the going into the bang area, and then it's pretty much the same exact length all the way around. Okay, everybody, it's been such a pleasure. I really enjoy doing these kinds of things and sharing it with you. So today we looked at some mid-length wavy styles. And this isn't all there is out there. But these are 4 that I selected to compare today. It really started out by, I wanted to compare the Norah to the Kendall. Those are often compared in real life, so I wanted to give you the lowdown on both of those. But then I added in the Julianne and the Gabor Soft and Subtle just as a couple more to take a look at, because I really wanted to make that comparison between the 26 GR in the Kendall to the shaded Praline, the 12 FS8. Wanted to make that color comparison for you as well. All this is so helpful. So it's just been really awesome to get in front of you and do this little comparison today. Just let's recap for a moment. So I brought out Kendall, beautiful, beautiful, mid-length curly style, very rounded. It has a straight bang. And it has a lace front and a full mono top. It has a decent amount of permatease to it, but it's an absolutely gorgeous style. The straight bangs on Kendall, I'm not crazy about. I find that they're very hard to train, and you may need to adjust your part in order to live with that on a daily and all-day wearing situation. Next, I compared Norah. Norah is another beautiful mid-length curly style featuring a lace front and a left mono part. Norah has less permatease than Kendall. It also has a very curvy bang, which tends to stay out of the face, and it's beautiful, beautiful for all-day wear. The curl pattern on on Norah is a bit more corkscrew than Kendall, and I love my curls. Doesn't matter how they are. The loose ones, the tight ones, long ones, big ones, barrel ones, all of them. I love them. And the biggest complaint I have about the Norah is that the cap runs very, very large compared to other Tony and Beverly styles. And I think it runs large average. That's just the reality of it. I have 3 of them and they're all the same. So I know that's more than just an isolated event. And then we have the Gabor Soft and Subtle, which it features a very long front. So there's no layering at the bang area. It just is straight down, a little bit longer in the front than the rest of the style, but it's pretty much the same length all the way around. It has the loosest curl pattern of all of those that I'm showing you today, and it features a lace front and a left mono part. Gabor, a couple things, loaded with permatease. Lots and lots of permatease. You gotta love permatease, love that Gabor wig. And then just the inconsistencies among the same style. Like I said, I've had lots of soft and subtles, and they're all different. And I would say probably 3/4 of the ones I find I don't really care for. They've had to make modifications to in order to make them wearable for me. So again, just having that right expectation when ordering. And then finally, the lovely Julianne by John Renau, completely 100% hand-tied cap, lace front, mono top. You know, it's just, I'm on a cloud when I'm wearing Julianne. I love her, very, very comfortable, always classic and beautiful. My only complaint with the Julianne, I think, would be some of the inconsistency with the curl pattern, but you're going to get that sometimes with the curly ones, the chaotically curly ones. Sometimes there's just no rhyme or reason in the curl, and you just got to find what works for you. It's hard to take a curly wig and go against what the style was intended for, so unless it's heat friendly. And I still can't imagine buying a curly wig and straightening it. I just don't get that at all. Buy a straight style. But with this one, I just think that It is a chaotically curly style. That is the hallmark of this style, and I think you can work with it just by maybe parting it differently. The key is just go with how it's made. Don't try to go against the grain on this one or you'll be disappointed. So, drum roll please. What's my favorite among the, I'm gonna say among the Kendall and the Norah. I'm not prepared to enter these other ones in there because they're not quite the same. We're talking about Kendall and Norah, which they could be sisters. Norah wins. I like Norah better because of the density, the lower density, the lower amount of permatease, the more defined curl pattern, and the curvy bangs that flow away from the face. That's what makes me love my Norah better than Kendall. Now they're both beautiful wigs, and I had a hard time deciding because they're gorgeous. So here's the beautiful Norah and here's the beautiful Kendall. All right guys, this has been so much fun, and I appreciate you tuning in today. We'll see you next time on TAZ's Wig Closet.